Hello and welcome back to the 2017 Summer Split LMS Game 2 coming up here between J-Team and AHQ. J-Team were able to pick up Game 1 in quite convincing fashion, actually, punishing AHQ's mistakes quite aggressively. We'll see what changes AHQ bring to the table here, whether it's team composition or just execution. So far, bans coming out of the red side for AHQ is the classic Caitlyn and Zach, and they're also going to be taking away the Callista, actually, so targeting BB's champion pool. I mean, those two AD carries are power picks, but of course BB is a very talented AD carry. They don't want to have that kind of power down there. Bans coming out of J-Team's side was the Thresh, Talia, and Kassadin, actually, so targeting Westor pretty heavily. Don't want to put him on that Kassadin. He almost got to a point where he was very scary on that Kassadin. If it wasn't for the massive lead J-Team accrued, it could have been scary. They're also taking away the Talia because they don't want to first pick it, but they also don't want to give it away. And Thresh, of course, just a very powerful support pick right now. You don't really want to give that one over to anybody. As we saw last game, Jay playing it to a very high level to secure a lot of kills for his team. First pick coming out of J-Team is going to be that Galio, most likely in the mid lane. So they went from the Talia to the Galio, so you can definitely see J-Team like to have the roaming mid laner so they can make plays around the map. The response from AHQ is going to be the Braum and Jarvan lock-in. Bringing a bit of a gauge from the top lane mostly, and of course, Braum does have good follow-up. See what J-Team decide to respond. Actually going to pick up the early Kog'Maw pick here. Interested to see what they're going to lock in next. I think maybe they'd want to lock in the support to make sure they have something that can protect it, but we've actually seen a little bit less on the side of picking up supports to protect Kog'Maw and more building a team that can just dive and then kind of peel in a way that's not peeling for Kog'Maw. Basically, the idea is you put so much pressure on the enemy team that Kog'Maw's kind of left to do his own thing. And just be that kind of insurance and extra damage. It's actually going to be Elise picked up from J-Team as their last pick in the first phase. So putting Alex on that early game pressure jungler, I think Elise is just so strong right now. If she is able to get going in the early game, she can take over a game so quickly. Westor looks like he's going to be on that Corki in the mid lane. So taking that scaling AD carry pick. Also going to offer a little bit of roam potential with the package, of course. So we'll see what these teams decide to ban out in the second phase here. Camille so far taken away from the side of AHQ, so trying to take Morning off of the carry pick in the top lane. Of course, they have the Jarvan, who's most likely going to go top lane, so they don't want him to lose lane too hard. It's actually the Rumble taken away. So they're assuming it's a jungle Jarvan, or at least they want to hedge their bets. Make sure it's a little bit less likely to be flexed, maybe. Two top lane bans in the second phase so far. We'll see if Morning and Ziv, what they have up their pockets, their champion pools are going to be a little bit tested. Of course, there's a lot of top laners still available. The Gnar, well, I'll take that back. The Gnar is now not available. Of course, you got things like Kled and Renekton as well. And Galio technically could be a top lane flex for J-Team, so always keep your eye out for that. Most teams do prefer to play that in the mid lane. But we've seen it a few times. CLG, Darshan especially, has in recent memory pulled that one out. Don't quite remember if they won that game or not, but either way, it's possible. Last ban coming out of J-Team is going to be the Xayah, actually. So maybe preempting the Xayah-Rakan duo. They're trying to take that away. It's quite a powerful combination, especially when you have other forms of engage. And both these AD carries, most games played this season are on Ashe, so not surprised to see that one come out in this series. It'll be Anne who will be piloting it in Game 2 here. So bringing even more engage from the side of the AD carry. Of course, you got that lore strong bot lane for AHQ. They got the Freljord. I was about to call it Fridgelord, but it's Freljord in the bot lane. J-Team going to be hovering that Kled. So they take that one away from Ziv, who actually was quite a shining star for AHQ in the Game 1. He was still able to get quite a bit done. Almost turned around a few sticky situations. J-Team, after the top lane gets targeted so hard, we'll go ahead and secure that one right away. We'll see what their last pick is coming down to the support role. And not going to be surprised to see a Tahm Kench here, to be quite honest. A lot of engage coming in from the side of AHQ, and you want to be able to protect that Kog'Maw as much as possible. So far, seems like a pretty flexible comp from the side of J-Team. AHQ definitely have quite the scary one on their side. They're going to be looking to lock in their top laner here, so it will be a jungle Jarvan. Mountain, of course, does like to play that. He played that. He's been playing it for a while, I should say. Much before he was even meta, he sometimes likes to pull that one out, and it will be the Jax for Ziv, so putting a carry in the top lane, it will mean that Jarvan is going to be pretty much the only front line they have. Braum is kind of, will get to that point eventually, but for a while, of course, onto support, you don't get the most money in the world, so he will be pretty squishy without that, as long as the Unbreakable's on cooldown. So we'll see how these teams decide to play these compositions out. Of course, J-Team, again, bringing that roaming presence in the mid lane. Last game it was Talia, this time they got Fofo on the Galio. Most likely going to try to make plays, coordinate themselves around Elise early game pressure. Of course, Tom Kent's, of course, going to offer some global presence as well. Bot lane should be interesting. Most likely should be in favor of HQ in terms of pushing power. But of course, when you are pushing, you open yourselves up to being ganked. So may see some play around the bot lane this game. See, team comps are locked in. Coaches are going to shake hands and exit stage left and or right. As you can see, the team comps on your screen there. Should be a very interesting game 2 coming out. J-Team looking for the 2-0. AHQ looking to bring this to a game 3. They are most likely slightly favored in this matchup. We'll see if they're able to show up when it counts here. Go ahead and jump into game. See what these teams decide to start. Looks like it will be the Wraith's red start for Mountain. Going to get some help with the leash there. And they did spot a ward here onto Alex, so they will have the information that he's starting Raptors as well. A lot of early warding coming out here from AHQ. Get some good information over there to themselves. It's Frosty bot lane coming out. The red side team. We'll see if they're able to grab an advantage down there. Looks like Mountain has a little bit of a lead in terms of jungle speed. Of course, he did get 2 helpers. Ziv and Westor came over there, lending him a little bit of assistance. So that's going to set him off a little bit of an advantage. He's probably going to be pretty happy about that. Oh, uh-oh. That's going to give him even more of an advantage as the red buff resets onto Alex. That's a bit of a mistake you kind of don't want to make. It's going to set him behind a little bit. First dragon is going to be Mountain, as you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen there. He's going to be nuzzling on into his pit. Look at him, he just looks so friendly. We'll see if these teams place priority onto that one. AHQ, of course, with the double 80 carry team comp, as well as the split pushing Jax, will be able to take towers quite fast if they're given the opportunity. Fofo actually is going to back really early here. TP back in the lane, picks up that control ward, so he's looking to get a little bit of information. Mountain, of course, is hanging around. He is in vision there, so he should be fine. Fofo, nice timing on the charge there. Manages to avoid the knock-up and the gank. Good job by him absorbing this pressure here. Looks like AHQ want to punish the fact that he used an early TP, but Alex is in the vicinity. Flash actually from Mountain, respecting the taunt coming out from Fofo. And Fofo actually doesn't have flash, interestingly, and he's stepping a bit too far forward. He dashes, trying to get the return kill. He knows he's going down, and they do. But it's first blood over to Westor. Flash from Alex. He has the double buff. He thinks he has the opportunity. Cleanse goes down, and they trade kills. A 2-for-2 in the mid lane. Bloody start to this game. Both junglers want to get their mid lane rolling. And 2 kills over to the Elise, but 2 kills over to the Corki. So it's debatable who's going to be in the advantage there. Definitely Elise has probably more early game potential. But if the Corki can get safe and get roaming, it can be pretty scary. As we see here, Alex comes to respond to help his mid laner. JT think they have the advantage at first. All of a sudden AHQ realize, hey, this Galio doesn't have flash and he's not really tanky without his taunt up. Burst him down, and unfortunately for them, they got it turned around a little bit on them. That last auto attack from Corki coming through, crucial. And he's going to be pretty happy about that. First back Sheen for Corki at 4 minutes. Can't be mad at that. Ward here in the top side. J-Team going to spot out Mountain. So they have the information that he's top side. Morning should be a bit careful. No flash from either of these junglers as well. So they got to be a little bit extra careful when they go in on these ganks. Speaking of, here's the knock-up. Alex with a good read on this one, though. Here comes Ziv trying to save his top laner's life. Morning does have his flash up, and they will be able to get the kill. Alex takes that one. Now Ziv in a world of trouble. Will he be able to get out of this one? He's got flash and the blast cone. Doesn't need the flash or the blast cone. He actually just jumps to it, and he will be fine. But great job by J-Team there. using the vision to their advantage and a good counter gank by Alex. All of a sudden, this Elise, who we said can take over games if they get rolling, is 3-1. Mobility boots picked up as well. Spider will be flying around the map. Speaking of flying, here comes the Gargoyle with wings, looking to make a play onto the bot lane. Nice charge to gain distance. Will land the double taunt here. Unbreakable on top of Ann, trying to keep him alive. Heal and flash already popped, and it is not going to be enough to save his life. He goes down. Great roam by Fofo. And that is 4-2 now kills in favor of J-Team. Only 5.5 minutes. A bloody early game from both of these teams. And J-Team coming out on top so far. Yeah, you don't really expect that, do you? The pre-6 Galio roam. Usually you are you forget about him until he hits 6, and then you start saying, okay, gotta respect that. But he just decides to walk it on down, struts his stuff down to the bot lane. Nice control ward there. As you can see in the river, is going to help prevent AHQ from seeing that early enough, and he gets down there. As we have another pause in this game here. Thankfully, the last one was pretty short in game 1, so hopefully this one will be 2. It looks like it is. We're just going to go ahead and skip a little bit forward. And we are back into game, thanks to the magic of the YouTube. Fofo has returned to lane here, 1-1-1. Very aesthetically pleasing looking score there. Picks himself up a null magic mantle. So looking to avoid some of this magic damage coming out of the Corki. Of course, Corki, with the new, recent changes, I shouldn't say new, they've been in there for a while, does majority magic damage now. Even though he builds still the AD, his attacks, his auto attacks are converted into mostly magic damage, and of course he still has the Foss Bomb and rockets and the Gatling gun, which all have AP ratios on them. Scuttle Grab picked up by Mountain, looking to try to provide his bottom lane with a little bit of vision control here. Jay gonna respond in kind, putting a forward ward there. I don't think he got spotted out there actually, but they do know where he is roughly. Fofo, all of a sudden, even though the Corki has the 2 kills, Galio was able to pick up that kill in the bot lane and grab himself an assist. He's not feeling too bad. Alex's flash is almost up. Cleanse flash up for Westor, though. This is going to be incredibly hard to lock this Corki down, unless they chain the CC almost perfectly. It's going to be an easy Valkyrie out for Westor, but still under a bit of pressure. It's at least 3 kills to her name. She's looking to make this game her own. J-Team off to a good start in this game, too. We're up a little bit of gold here. Of course, AHQ doing a good job picking up some kills of their own, and actually a pretty big farm lead in the bot lane for the Ashe there, as you would expect. Alex trying to get some counter jungling down here. Might have bit off way more than he could chew, though. And he does have flash, but he's way too far in. Counting on the Galio ult to save him, but that one is late. And now Fofo all of a sudden is in a 2v1. He's trying to make his way out. He does have flash, but so do both members of AHQ. No Cataclysm. He will flash the wall. Mountain will not chase. But still a free kill over to the side of AHQ. Good job by them to pick that one up. 3-1-0 now on this Corki. Really starting to get rolling. And a little bit of over-aggression there from the Elise. He had those 3 kills on him, and he was feeling pretty confident. Unfortunately, running into a 2v1 is never the greatest idea. I suppose he had some false confidence with the Galio ult up. It's a little bit late. Albus gonna take the advantage of pushing in the bot lane and sneak in there, grab a ward on that red buff, which is up, of course. So they may look to even do a bit of counter jungling on their own if they're feeling up to it. As we expected, this bot lane for AHQ will be pushing here, so they got some good pressure on the bot side. They don't have the most wards. They do have a few there, though, one covering kind of both entrances. There's one path Alex could take and not get spotted out, so they do have to be a bit careful. Galio ult will be up soon as well, but the package is on Westor, and he has 3 kills. Phage and Sheen already complete, only 9 minutes into this one. Fofo gonna get a nice trade off here. Taunt lands. Westor trying to do damage back, but Galio already very tanky. And here comes Alex trying to get the gank package burned to get away from that one. Pretty much a get out of jail free card, which is what you actually end up see a lot of these Corkis nowadays end up using it for. It's less and less used for roams and just kind of used to make sure they can get even more farm than they might usually, because they're so safe. They have that one up. Meanwhile, this top lane hasn't received much love yet, just kind of been an island. Jack's looking to survive the early game and scale up here. Morning on this Kled, trying to get an advantage. He's got the timeout, so he's trying to keep Jax under his tower, under pressure. This bot lane especially starts to get pretty interesting when they hit level 6 on the side of AHQ. The arrow available, as well as the Braum ult for follow-up. I think the Tahm Kench is a smart pick here, though. We'll be able to pretty much nullify that by eating up his little cute Pugmaw. Pretty good vision control on this bot side, actually, for a J team. They realize that this is where most of AHQ's early game plays are probably going to come. Make sure they light this one up so they have all the information they need. Mountain Drake, as mentioned, is the first to spawn. Hold that thought, though. Fofo walking into a Jarvan. He's going to charge. Nice block on the side of Mountain, trying to lock up this kill. TP's coming in on both sides. He's very tanky. They do want to go for the kill, though. Cataclysm to lock him in place. Who's going to go down first? It will be Fofo. The trade kill goes over, though. Morning able to pick that one up. He's on the retreat now, though. Forced to flash. Drops a bit too low for comfort. So it's a 1-for-1. Jungle for mid lane, but AHQ coming out with a bit of a pressure lead here. Ziv was forced to sacrifice a few minions on that top side, hoping to get some damage returned onto the mid lane tower. You can see the bot lane doesn't want to be left out. They're doing a bit of skirmishing of their own. They're hearing all the action up top in the mid lane. They want to get involved. This mid lane has been a bit of a war zone so far this game. Both these teams trying to get their respective mid laners rolling here. Alex is going to notice that he's spotted by the control ward. Go ahead and clear that one out. So no TPs on either side of these top laners, which sometimes actually attracts some jungle attention. Because if you manage to kill a jungler while his TP is down, he ends up losing even more off of it. Because he's not able to TP back to grab any minions that might be crashing into the tower. Here is Mountain on the top side. They know Morning just burned his flash. They may look to punish that fact. Ziv now doesn't quite have the build together he needs yet, but he does have a Jarvan on the top side. No Cataclysm up, but he does land the knock-up. Crucially, stun goes down. Dismount actually avoids it. They still have the damage, though. They go in, they grab the kill. Mountain picks up that one. Alex looking to turn this one around. Tahm Kench all comes through, but it's still a 3v2. Braum ult's going to be dodged out. Nice nom by Jay to keep his jungler alive, but again, AHQ coming out on top. 1-for-0, and they're able to get priority here in this river. Nice roam up from Albus as well to provide the extra support. Alex is maybe low there recalling. Thankfully, he's not on vision, though. Now Fofo might find himself under a bit of pressure. It's going to be hard to dive the Galio, especially when his flash is just coming up now. Ult as well. Up very soon for the Galio. Tahm Kench ult was just used, so they have one less quasi-global ult at their disposal. They have actually rotated the bot lane up top here to J team, so they wanted to get out of that matchup, but AHQ followed well. So a pre-turret take lane swap coming in here for these teams. Interesting to see. Do you see that sometimes, though, when a team feels like they're losing the lane matchup quite heavily? They sometimes want to rotate. It's all about which objectives you want to take and or defend. HQ definitely with the pretty big tempo advantage so far, though. They do have, as well, about a 1,000 gold lead. A little bit less than that. Mountain Drake is going to be very lonesome on that bot side for now, as most of this action should be occurring around the mid and the top side. TP's almost up for these top laners. We'll see if that plays any part in the future of this game. Blue buff picked up by Fofo, so that's going to help him even more, keeping this Corki somewhat at bay with the wave clear. Of course, Corki with the pre-15-minute Trinity Force is going to be feeling pretty good about that. Albus dropping the Unbreakable, trying to protect Anne a little bit from the Kog'Maw poke. Westor's got the package for himself, so they may look to make a play with this one. He's got mid-push priority going for himself as well. Mountain's going to be spotted out by that ward. Morning realizes he might be in a bit of danger, but this red buff is all of a sudden now the priority. EQ combo missing from Mountain, but Westor wants in as well. Alex is able to disengage from that one, and now it's all about who gets the red buff. That one does go over to Mountain, so red buff secured. Ziv even going to jump it and give Morning a little whack. Remind him he is there. T definitely still in this game, though. They got a lot of tools to make plays. Just got to be smart about how they use it. You got to think this lane is what AHQ may want to play around here, though. They got a lot of CC tools in the top lane, which ironically is where the bottom lane is. Westdoor slowly chipping away at this tower. Really wants to get first tower gold for himself. It's going to do wonders to set him even farther ahead. Mountain, of course, the only tank on this team, is going to be building as such. Hanging around this mid lane, making sure Westdoor on that Corki is nice and safe, of course. The gank potential out of the Galio and Lease is pretty strong. So you want to make sure he's safe. He has Flash and Cleanse, so he should be good to go. Rift Herald, looks like it might be started up. Nope, just a prank. Mountain's gonna EQ over the wall. Morning here, looking to maybe make a play onto the Corki. Setting up in a bit of a flank position, and the TP comes down from Fofo. He might look to pop the ult. He does. They're looking to get some summoners out here for sure. He's already under tower, though, and they're pretty tanky, so they're able to go pretty deep, and the flash is forced out from Westdoor. And that's actually really good. Morning, all he had to do was burn the ult there. So good job by Morning to push that one in and make a play. That might open up the possibility of a return gank from either Alex or possibly even a Tom Kench now that he's level 6 and able to roam around. As you can see, he's paired up with his jungler Alex right now. Working on getting some vision control of this area. Making sure they can spot AHQ if they ever decide to try to make a play on that top side. Ziv, though, on this Jax has been doing pretty well for himself. Managed to stay relatively even in farm. Down a decent amount, and also a kill over to the Mornings means Jax probably won't be able to bully him anytime soon. This game is very close here. Just over 16 and a half minutes into this one. Rift Herald has been started up by J-Team. Looking to secure that objective for themselves. Mountain is on the bot side, so not going to be a contest. And it looks like they're actually willing to make the trade here. They realize they have lost vision control of the top side, so they're just going to go ahead and give that one over and take the Mountain Drake in response. Alex is going to go ahead and pick that one up. So it's a Mount Drake for Rift Herald. Rift Herald is more investing in the potential, and I suppose the Mountain Drake is as well, because if you can get a lead with a Mountain Drake, it's actually really good. You're behind, not so much. The Rift Herald potential is always unknown. We've seen many teams make good use of it, and others not so much. We've seen it used in a variety of ways, actually. I've seen a lot of defensive Rift Heralds recently, or Rift Heralds that are used to kind of bait teams into coming to the lane with the Rift Herald, and then they look to take an objective elsewhere. These teams getting better and better at using that new objective. Blade of the Ruin King finished up for the Kog'Maw, i.e. on the side of Ashe. He's looking to output the damage this game. Didn't go the Essence Reaver build, which is interesting. It says to me they just want to get as much damage down as possible. Of course, that does make sense with the likes of Fofo and Morning. Going to be in Anne's face quite often, I am assuming. This lane starts to turn around a bit here once Kog'Maw starts getting that damage through. He's done well to bring the CS lead back to relatively even. Still about 10 ahead is Anne on that Ashe, so doing a good job there. AHQ with this split pushing comp with the Jax. Always a little bit hard to execute sometimes. J-Team have more of a kind of collapse on you team comp. See if they're able to pull that one off. Package picked up for Westdoor. Might be looking to use that. Or again, just save it and make sure he can get out of any sticky situation. Just under 20 minutes into this game. Still only around a 1,000 gold lead for AHQ. But a gold lead is a gold lead. Got to be happy with that, especially after the start that they had with the Elise picking up 3 kills. Probably pretty happy that she didn't continue the snowball there. Mountain actually pulling up to a decent farm lead as well, so HQ doing a good job in that respect, looking to try to contest the blue. Westdoor going in very aggressively here. His team not quite there, but they do pick up the first kill of the fight. Now the stun goes down onto Fofo. JT in complete retreat here. Morning on the backside trying to do a little bit to distract AHQ, but they pick up 3 kills now for 0. Now BB running to the safety of his tower. He is just one lonely little Pugmaw. And he's cute, but he's not going to be cute enough to dissuade AHQ from killing him. He burns the flash just to try to buy some time. I'm not sure where he plans on going. Getting that Warlord's Bloodlust proc makes him a bit faster, but as you can see, not long for this world. Jax is able to pick up that kill, which is bad news for J-Team. All of a sudden, AHQ make the aggressive play, catching J-Team off guard a little bit. It looks like they'll pick up 4 more kills, actually, and the top tower. So first brick gold going over to AHQ. They're getting everything right now. All of a sudden, the 1,000 gold lead is up to 4,000. Rift Herald is the response for J-Team in the mid lane. They want to get a tower back here. The tower is not too low, but it's going to be a big, healthy chunk coming from the Rift Herald. They might be able to pick this one up before AHQ can respond. They should be able to. As we take a look at this replay, Westdoor knows that there's something going on. They're going to be going to give over the blue buff, and he just jumps right in with the package. And it's AHQ who are actually able to collapse a lot faster here. They were ready with the play. And by the time morning gets here, there's already basically 2 people dead. Soon to be 3 on the side of J-Team, so not quite able to collapse fast enough, and they pay for it with their lives. Not quite respecting playmaking coming out of this AHQ team comp. Caught off guard a little bit. Team fight forced from the team with the Jax. So J-Team was able to pick up that mid tower in the mid lane, of course, thanks to the Rift Herald, but AHQ with a very quick response. 2-1 now towers in favor of the red side. A little bit of ARAM going on right now. These teams conjugating back in the mid lane. Very important who's able to get this mid priority. Baron has spawned. The next dragon will be in 2 minutes, so that won't be on the table for a while. HQ is going to start to look to take vision control of this Baron area. Blind out the side of J-Team. They do have pretty good Baron take. They have 2 AD carries and a Jax, who has the Trinity Force complete. I don't think they want to go for it just yet, though. Probably maybe just looking for some picks. J-Team do have to respect it, though, so they want to go in and get a little bit of vision for themselves. Westdoor here on this Corki, 5-1-2. Trinity Force and Rapid Fire complete. He is scaling up to that late game a lot faster than J-Team would have wanted him to. Bot lane tier 3 tower still up for the side of J-Team, and Corki might be looking to go aggressive. He is spotted out on the ward, so Morning knows he might be in a bit of trouble. He's going to respect it for now. Tease that he's backing off. Westdoor, though, realizing that he might have an opportunity, goes back in. Valkyrie being dropped. The Invuln is going to buy a little bit of time, and here comes the Galliwell. Does not get the knock-up. Disengage comes out of AHQ. They realized they weren't going to get that one and back off. So just a Galliwell burn there. I believe Flash was actually used by Ziv. So diving a little bit too deep. Had to burn his Flash to get on out, but they will pick up the tower. So you could probably say worth there. 3-1 now towers in favor of the red side. BB on this Kog'Maw is going to have to do a lot of work. Feeling if they want to win this game, he's going to have to get going a little bit here. Most of the damage going into this mid to late game. Side of AHQ, they have plenty of damage on their side. Mountain pretty much the only tank here. Even he's going a little bit of damage. They do have quite a healthy lead here, hovering around 5,000 gold. Baron control is going to be given over to J-Team for the moment. Of course, AHQ did spend a few resources down on the bot side picking up that tower for themselves. Looks like Fofo with the TP, of course, is going to be trying to do a bit of pushing in that bot lane. Double TP on the side of J-Team. Haven't been able to utilize it super well quite yet. Just on the defensive right now, trying to play wave clear duty a little bit. Looks like AHQ is going to move back into this Baron area now that they have regrouped and take control. Meanwhile, Ziv soloing out this Ocean Drake. He's got the Cutlass and the Trinity Force, so that's going to be no problem for him. Grab that out for them. 2 dragons now over to the side of AHQ. Feeling pretty good about that one so far. They got to watch out for the Ash Arrow coming in here. A lot of engage on the side of AHQ. If they catch JT out, feeling it won't be pretty. Blue buff is spawning here. Probably going to look to give that over to Westdoor. Indeed they will. Steal that one away from Fofo. Not the biggest steal taking away from the Galley, but it definitely helps. Gives him a bit more wave clear. And as you can see, AHQ playing the vision game here. The arrow does land onto Jay. He's forced to flash. Will it be enough, though? Mountain going in super deep. He's not quite tanky enough yet, though. He gets blown up by J-Team, turning that one around nicely. And now they might look to go further. The disengage comes out of AHQ. They realize They done goofed a little bit there. Mountain jumping in. He is the only tank, but that doesn't mean he is the tankiest tank. J-Team proved that they have a very healthy amount of damage on their side. BB doing a lot of damage there too, as well as the Elise. She's not quite at the point where she gets outscaled yet. And they're actually making the call to go onto the Baron. TP being started up by Ziv. They want to contest this one. Jungler won't be up for another 5, so it won't be a smite. They definitely want to get them off before it drops too low. Nice damage from Westor. Here's the engage though from J-Team, looking to turn this one around. First kill goes over to Ziv. Westor on the outside of this one, trying to kite back here. J-Team doing a good job so far, but it's the turnaround from AHQ. They're absolutely dominating this fight. Fofo doing his best, does get a return kill, but that is not the story. AHQ decisively taking that one, and now all of a sudden they'll be turning on to Baron. Mountain has returned, and J-Team going a bit over aggressive, trying to secure the Baron buff, and they're going to lose out on a lot of kills and a Baron ace. 25.5 minutes into this one, and a Baron buff. All of a sudden, AHQ blowing this game wide open. J-Team saw an opportunity, took it, and immediately regretted it. Take a look at this replay. J-Team thinks they have the opportunity to go for the Baron, but the team fight is still pretty strong for AHQ. Fofo goes in there pretty deep. Westor goes completely untouched, as well as Anne. They try to focus it all onto the somewhat front line. They're able to just survive for so long. The damage dealer is able to do more damage. That's usually what you want. So AHQ doing a good job there in that fight, turning that one around. Now they have a Baron buff. We'll see what they're able to do with it. Tier 2s all remaining here for J-Team. They'll probably look to start to take those down. Ziv in the bot lane. Doesn't have TP, but I don't think that's going to stop him from putting the split push pressure down. A lot of engage tools on the side of AHQ if they want to even maybe go for a dive here. AHQ doing a good job securing a little bit of vision here. Westor on the roam down, helping out his top laner. They're just going to be looking to rotate between the mid and the bot tier right now. Probably going to end up taking both towers. Hard for J-Team. They don't actually have the best wave clear in the world, especially when they're under so much pressure. HQ going a bit deeper here, trying to control the vision, make sure J-Team has as little information as possible to try to make plays. It's like they'll go back, regroup, grab that mid wave, give it that Baron speed buff. Some pings going down onto that mid tier 2 tower from J-Team. They really want to defend it for as long as possible. Looks like AHQ, the call for now is to actually get all 3 waves pushing here. Still got a bit of time on this Baron buff. The next dragon is actually going to be Mountain, and I can bet AHQ would want to pick that one up if the opportunity presents itself. They're now trying to pull J-Team between the mid and the top side. Looking to pressure both of these towers at once. Of course, Westor in the mid lane is going to be doing a very healthy amount of damage. Takes it down already. 5 towers to 1 now in favor of AHQ. They are pulling ahead very far in this one. Over a 10k gold lead here, 28 minutes in. Doing even better than J-Team last game. Ziv with the tower dive flashes out. Is it enough damage? The minions not going to quite be enough, I don't think, but Morning really wants to get this one. Pops the L, gets in there. Bonks Jax right on the head. That is a kill going over. Ziv stepping a bit too far forward, getting a little antsy, trying to take that inhibitor tower, and that's going to be the end of the push for AHQ. Managed to pick up a few towers. Decent little Baron power play, but the big story is the gold lead right now. It's so massive. Just under 30 minutes into this one. Very hard for J-Team to come out with a win here. Not impossible, though. They do have the late game Kog'Maw and a very respectable front line with the Galio Colette as well. Problem is, AHQ have so many tools to make this work for themselves. Mountain Drake spawning in about 50 seconds. See if AHQ placed the priority onto that one. They may just have Ziv solo it out again on that Jax. Worked well with the Ocean Drake. Why not try it again? AHQ looking to deny this blue buff once again. We'll spot out that ward there. As you can see, J-Team do want to get in while they have the opportunity to play some vision down. They always have to be careful, though, of the looming engage. It can be popped at any time here. They're grouped up a little bit in the mid lane. No tower close by. They have to be a bit careful. Jax does have TP up now. Of course, JT is grouped as 5, though, so they will have the slight advantages in terms of timing. You know, teleport takes a little bit of time to channel. AHQ probably don't want to fight, actually. They want to give Ziv a little bit of time to get some pressure down there in the bot lane. He will be soloing out the Mountain Drake, so that's going to give them the advantage if they look to take this Baron when it comes up soon. End up having 2 Mountain Drakes now and an Ocean Drake, so the objective control for AHQ even better now. Will return to split pushing in the bot lane. He's got the Trinity Force and Blade of the Rune King complete. Those are the 2 major damage items he needs. Now he's starting to build a little bit defensively. It's the point of the game where Jax becomes truly terrifying is when he becomes tanky as well. Able to output so much damage while staying alive. Team on the back foot here, trying their best not to give over too many resources. It's going to be very hard, though. Jay is going to lick up Mountain there a little bit. Nothing coming off of that one, though. HQ setting up here, trying to prevent J-Team from pushing out too far. As you can see, the map pretty much blank right now for J-Team. Besides those few defensive wards, they're able to get right outside of their base. Everything else being cleared out here relentlessly by AHQ. Baron will be spawning in a minute and a half. It's possible AHQ just wants to wait it out until that happens and force JT either into a bad fight or just might try to force them to give it up entirely. Let's see what the call is from J-Team. Doubt they want to give up that Baron for free, but sometimes when you're this far behind, you don't really have a choice. Over a 10,000 gold lead deficit at 30 minutes is hard to deal with sometimes. Actually going to be a crit build coming out of the Kog'Maw here. Less survivability. We've seen that more often now. Just offers so much more damage. If they can keep him alive, they do have a chance, but the problem is there's still a ton of damage on the side of AHQ. So they're going to be hard-pressed to actually keep him alive. They do have the Tahm Kench pick to try to help out in that regard. Looks like AHQ is going to be recalling here, restock on the Vision so they can completely take control in time for the Baron coming up. Team taking this small window of opportunity to push a little bit forward here, pushing out the mid wave. They don't want to give this Baron up for free. You can see they're trying to put a little bit of vision down here and there. Morning trying to keep that bot lane pushed up as well. See what the call is here from AHQ if they decide to go super aggressive or play it a little more safely. J-Team taking the opportunity. They got mid priority. They're able to pick up the Scuttle Crab, which is nice for them. Will buy them a little bit of time. Still have to be careful of the engage coming out of the red side, though. J-Team trying to position aggressively here. Nice bit of damage landing onto BB. That's just one rocket coming out of this Corki. 6-2 and 6-300 farm. He is doing a metric crap ton of damage already. And on that Ashe as well. Pretty fed himself. HQ positioning here. They do have the Jax here, which is not really what they want, but if they're able to get a good fight, it won't really matter either way. Here's the arrow landing onto the Kog'Maw. Nice target, but the Tahm Kench is able to keep him safe for now. HQ, though, pushing forward. They really want to engage here. Flash force from Fofo. Nice Braum ult. Going to slow them down even more. And it looks like J-Team just have no response so far. They're just taking so much damage here, trying to turn it around. Ziv dives in here, trying to get the kills, going over to Westdoor is the first one. Second one goes down. Jack's able to pick that one up. And now J-Team are dropping like flies. The Kog'Maw doing his best to try to run away. Not going to work. Ziv flying in for that kill. Gets a double for himself. And even able to pick up one on the backside. And we'll see what the call is from here. Is it to go to Baron? Or they might just look to end the game. Those are pretty long death timers, actually. And they have a wave in the mid lane. Only Morning alive on this Kled, and the TP will be coming in from Ziv. I think they might be able to actually just end this one. They have the double 80 carries as well as the Jax. These objectives are going to be dropping so fast. Morning going to do his best for a miracle defense, but he just gets locked up for so long. He can't even move. Dismount and all doesn't help him in any regard. First Nexus tower goes down, second Nexus turret goes down, and the Nexus soon to follow. And AHQ, wouldn't you know it, striking back very hard in Game 2. Just as decisively, if not more. than J Team in game 1, and they will send us to a decisive game 3. This should be a really interesting one.